What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about physical media being dead, the Steam Machine price, and the class action lawsuit filed against the RAM companies. But let's just start off with physical media dying. The date this happens is January 2028. Sony will no longer be producing physical discs for new released games. Xbox announces that its next console will have no disk drive, and they will no longer be manufacturing discs. I just have to say that it sucks. I hear you as gamers. This sucks. Physical media. I did not want physical media to die. I miss physical media in general. Like, I was born in the 80s, so I've seen it all come and go. Like, cassettes, discs, cartridges, records even. Like, I've seen it all come and go. I think my mom, when I was a kid, even had some 8-track tapes, which it still falls in the line of cassettes. So I've seen it all come and go, and it's never easy to change the way that you consume your media or consume your content. Like when we stopped producing discs and we switched to iPods and MP3 players or nanos or whatever the hell they were called, that was a big change. But everything will work out in the end. It sucks. We're going through the stages of grief right now. Like, first off, we got denial. Like, there's no way that PlayStation and Xbox would be doing this. They shouldn't be doing this. And then when you follow that up with anger, like, this is bullshit. Going to the comment sections and whining about it and making videos about it and, raging on the internet about this physical media going away. And then following up with bargaining. Like, if we stand together, we can change this. We can force them to give us physical media and produce discs. And then sets in depression. Like, man, this sucks. Remember what it used to be back in the day. Now we all sound like old people, like, talking about the glory days of back in the day when, like, you would go to the store, you would buy, for instance, like Need for Speed Underground 2. You can go to the store, you can buy it, bring it home, put it in your PlayStation 2, and immediately be playing. Well, not immediately be playing, because it takes a while for those consoles back in the day. We are so spoiled with how fast everything loads nowadays. Back on the PlayStation 2, I haven't timed it. I haven't seen how long it. That'd be interesting to go check to see how long it takes for a PlayStation 2 game to actually load up and get into actually physically playing. But yeah, back in the day, you would go get the disc, you'd bring it home, you'd put it in your console, and you could play it, and the game lived on the disc. Along with depression, there will be no more midnight releases, no more unboxing videos, no more smelling the plastic when you open it, like, no more opening the case and just smelling it, and getting that, getting high from the chemicals of the brand new print. But yeah, some of my most memorable gaming experiences were at midnight releases. Like, for instance, the midnight release of GTA 6. I remember I had to park my car down the street so I could sneak out of the house and drive down to my local GameStop, and then get to the parking lot party where so GameStops and Deerbergs here in the Midwest are like bundled together. If there was a Deerbergs, there was usually a GameStop and a UPS store there. So I got to Deerberg's parking lot, and it was like a parking lot party. There were people with, motorcycles, and they were doing donuts in the parking lot, and like it was an event. It was an experience. And now all that's gone. I mean, I'm not going to trade that for like the scarcity. Well, hold on. Let me get through all these stages of grief. So you got denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So the depression part is going to be brutal. But then acceptance is, well, screw it. I've been buying digital games on Steam anyways. So we're just going to accept it. Some people will refuse to accept it, but they will have to accept it eventually if they want to continue playing new games. So it's inevitable. This was inevitable. This was going to happen no matter what. I just didn't think it'd be happening this soon. Because like it's a bummer, man. Like when Target decided to stop selling Blu-ray discs, it was kind of a bummer because when you'd go in there, Target used to be my go-to to get all of my new Blu-rays. Like I would just pop into Target real quick when something came out, like like I can remember when Logan came out, the Blu-ray for Logan. I went straight to Target after work, I believe, picked it up, came home, and we watched it that night. And it was just, Target was my go-to place for Blu-rays. Now you go in Target, there's not a single Blu-ray on the shelf. And the gaming section is even sadder. Like, there is hardly anything there. Same thing. I encourage you to go to your local Best Buy. If you go to Best Buy and go look at the gaming section, there is nothing on the shelf. There is hardly anything when it comes to like video games. The new ones aren't even on the, like when I pre-ordered Resident Evil Requiem from Best Buy on Nintendo Switch 2, I showed up and I went to the counter to get my copy because obviously they had it behind the counter, but then I went to go look at the shelf and there was not a single copy of Resident Evil Requiem on the shelf. There was no promotion. There was no like cardboard cutout. There was nothing in the gaming section. And I'm like, this is a major game. Like Resident Evil Requiem coming to Switch 2 is a big deal. I mean, the fact that it's running on Switch 2 is insane. And there was literally no promotion, not a single copy on the shelf. You had to walk up to the counter to get. I'm speechless. I was blown away to see that there was not a new copy of a game or even being promoted in the gaming section. PlayStation 5, there wasn't even a copy for PlayStation 5 on the shelf. Or, I mean, Xbox doesn't even have anything on the shelf. There's like, it's just like controllers, headsets, peripherals like steering wheels. There's no, Xbox doesn't have a single game on the shelf. And it's sad. It's very sad. But yeah, I would say that I'm going to fully say I'm part of the problem. I am part of the problem. I am guilty of, like, this entire generation, I haven't bought really a single disc this entire generation. It started in the PS4 era, where it was just more convenient to download it. Like, instead of having to go to the store at midnight, I could just download, like Spider-Man PS4. I pre-ordered that digitally, and I watched the countdown to when it became available to play it instead of going to the store, buying it, bringing it home, loading it, waiting for it to download and install, and then playing. the preload feature has made all of us the preload feature has led us to this death of physical media. But I mean, it's a, like, they wouldn't be doing this if it didn't financially make sense. If they were going to be losing money doing this, they would not be doing it. And they see the numbers, so they know that physical media has been dead for a while. Now, I know there are enthusiasts out there that live and breathe physical media, and I see you, and this sucks for you, and I'm sorry. And again, the stages of grief. It's a bummer, man, because I understand. I don't want physical media to die. But like I said, I am 100% part of the problem. I only bought a disk drive for my PlayStation 5 Pro to play the Deadpool PS4 game that you can no longer buy on the store because of licensing rights. That's basically the only reason I bought the disk drive, because I will not. I want to buy Wolverine physical, but if I do that, I won't be able to do like a comparison between PS5 Pro and standard PS5, because my standard launch PS5 is the digital edition. So I won't be able to access the game on my digital console because there's no disk drive on it. So I will be purchasing Wolverine on the PlayStation Store. Again, though, so like financially, it makes sense for Sony and Xbox and all of them to follow suit, like Steam games. You haven't bought. I don't think anybody has bought a physical PC game. I just can't imagine somebody buying a physical PC game. That's it. Why would you do that? But yeah, that it makes sense for them to follow suit with Steam. The thing that is crazy about, like, financially, so they want you locked into their ecosystem. Like Sony and Xbox want you locked in their ecosystem, no more used games, and they can use algorithms to inflate prices for specific users. I heard somebody talk about this, about Walmart, how they can like digitally, they can up the price, they can change the price tag in the store digitally at any given moment. So like, let's say on Saturday afternoon, you go grocery shopping at your local Walmart grocery store. And when the volume in the store is heavy, they can inflate the price of products like temporarily based on the traffic in the store. Which seems like it's like criminal. You know what I mean? Like that, like, what, you'd steal a few extra cents from me, or a dollar, or a few extra dollars from me just because the volume in the store is heavy. Same thing with the PlayStation Store. So like a user that's more active in the PlayStation Store, things can be priced differently versus somebody who only buys a few games a year and only plays their PlayStation a few times. Amazon does this as well. So like if you go to view a product and you viewed it and then you walked away from it, you closed your browser and you come back to it and you look at it a couple more times the next day, and then you come back and it's like, let's say it's like $49.99 the first few days, first few times you look at it, and then like, I don't know, like a week later you go back and it's $39.99. The algorithm adjusted that price for you based on the activity of the user visiting and viewing the product. They'll do the same thing in these PlayStation and Xbox stores. But nobody's going to notice. Nobody's going to care. We're just going to keep pushing forward. But, which sucks. That's the world we live in today. And we will not be able to trade in our games at GameStop or sell our used games or buy used games. It's all just going to be digital. And like I said, I'm part of the problem. 100%. I'm guilty of just buying digital games. And so, like, with the inflation of pricing and all that stuff, the console prices are going up because of the RAM shortage. And it's out of control. The Steam machine, the Xbox just got another price increase. It's going up in August. PlayStation, I don't know if they've announced that a price increase is coming, but there are rumors of a price increase coming. Yeah, if you want a PlayStation 5 Pro now, it's I think it's like close to $1,000. I think it's like $900. And if you want the disc drive, which is probably the best time to buy one now, because the price of physical media is just going to go up after the after the change, because there will be scarcity. And there will be no more discs created or made, which is crazy to say. But yes, the price of the Steam machine, this thing is going to be, you might as well just go buy yourself an NVIDIA's graphics card and build your own PC, because this is crazy. So the price of the 512 gigabyte model without a controller is $1,049. $1,049. Then the 512 gigabyte model with the controller is $1,128. But then it jumps up to the 2 terabyte model. So I don't understand why it jumps from 512 gigabyte to 2 terabyte. Where's the 1 terabyte model? I don't know. But the 2 terabyte model jumps up to $1,300. Well, $1,349 without a controller. And then with the controller, the 2 terabyte model, $1,428. That's insane. I would just be looking into buying a pre-built PC and then loading the Steam OS on it, or Linux. I think it's Linux that Steam is. Yeah, Linux is, or Steam is built out of Linux. Now, it won't be optimized like the Steam Machine OS, but I'm sure you can download the Steam Machine OS and install it to your PC that you built. This is just insane. This RAM crisis is insane, and there's no end in sight. Prices are going up, and it's just crazy to me. But there is hope ahead, because there was in June 25th, there was a new class action lawsuit filed against RAM manufacturers, which includes Samsung, of colluding to restrict supply and inflate prices of conventional RAM. Hold on. Since roughly October 2022, October 2022, resulting in a 700% price increase. But this is not the first time that the RAM companies like Samsung have been sued. They were also sued in 2008. Samsung pled guilty to the criminal price fixing of DRAM between 1999 and 2002, resulting in a $300 million fine. And they fired a bunch of their CEOs at Samsung. So let's hope that this lawsuit will result in the decrease pricing of RAM, because the AI companies I think they found a way to manufacture their own RAM. So they're not, from what I understand, they're not relying on like places like Samsung and all that to provide the RAM. Don't get me, I'm not an insider, so I have no idea if this is true or not. This is only what I've heard or been told. But I'm hopeful that the RAM prices will go back down and the prices of this tech will eventually come down, because there's got to be the AI bubble has to pop. Now, a buddy of mine said, "What year were you born, Nate?" I said, "I was born in 86. He was like, "How many times have you seen the price of things go down?" And the only thing I could say was, well, Xbox Game Pass dropped Xbox Game Pass dropped their prices a few months ago. And he looked at me like I had 5 heads. He's like, "Bro, you're insane. You're insane." So yeah. I don't know. This is crazy. Physical media is dead. Prices of everything are still going up. And companies will be able to adjust prices in their stores, and you can do nothing about it. You don't have another option to go buy a game used or go sell your game because you don't want it anymore. Like you buy something, it's in your library forever. I will say that, like, the refund policy that Steam has is one of the best refund policies I've ever seen. I don't know if PlayStation or Xbox will follow suit. They'll probably still continue on with their "you bought it, you play it" type deal, which is, they can do what they want. They're Xbox and PlayStation. But yeah, what do you guys think about the RAM crisis and physical media going away? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next episode.